And welcome
To kind of smart.
to Kinda Smart. Here with me, your host, Abby Ellis, and our special guest, Bréa Foulks.
Wah, 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 wah,
Woo!
wah.
Here she is. Bréa is a friend, a sister. Don't worry about that. Nothing's happening. She is an esthetician. She is a professional food retriever and deliverer. She is beautiful. She is kind. She can do gorgeous eyebrows. What else you got, Bria? Anything you need to let the people know to introduce yourself?
um,
How
I'm
old are you?
24, be 25 in Gemini.
And how long have we known each other?
About 2 years. We met 2023 January, so yeah,
Yeah,
about 2 years.
about 2 years. Feels like 10.
Feels like 20.
20. Oh my goodness. I don't know if that's a compliment.
No, I mean, yeah, it feels like we've been sisters and friends for a long time.
Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
agree.
Mhm.
Well, thanks for being here
Of
on
course.
my
Thank you for having
podcast.
me.
Of
I feel
course. I
special.
feel like I may be forcing some people to do this, but can you get that? Okay.
And we're back on with
But yeah, I may be holding some people hostage to be on the podcast, but some people are totally willing. So you'll never know who's who.
And I'm both.
Fair. That's fair. That's totally fair.
That's fair.
I get it. But I was like, it's gonna be so hard to find guests. I'm gonna have to be like begging people. But you know what? Actually, a lot of people who find out about the podcast are like, oh my gosh, you should have me as a guest.
Yeah, no, it's really actually fun. And to see that you're like going after your hobbies and your dreams, it's like, why wouldn't we want to be a part? You know?
Yeah. And if you don't, you're kind of a hater. So
Yeah,
that's
a
fair.
huge major one.
You really weed out the friends, you know? You
Hmm.
see who's who.
Who supports, yeah, who doesn't, for sure.
I only had a couple people anyways, so you
But
know.
I feel lucky because I'm number 3.
Number three.
Yeah.
Who are the other two?
Huh?
Who's the other two?
You had I'm just saying I'm number 3. I'm number 3 on the podcast. Like I'm your third person.
Oh, yeah.
It took a
Yes,
minute.
number three. Because we had, no, you're number two.
I'm number 3.
We just had
I
Al.
know, but I'm your third podcast.
Your third episode.
Your
Yes,
third
you're my
episode.
third
Yeah.
episode. Very true. Second special guest. But yeah, we have some questions for you today.
Okay, hit me with them.
I have a whole podcast planned out, guys.
She's
Like
professional.
outline, some questions. We got it all. This is like a regular podcast. Bria,
Hmm.
Miss Bria Folks,
Yes, ma'am.
with your experience, you have a lot of experience with friendships and relationships. You are out in Texas on your own. Your family lives back in Memphis. You've been out here for 5 years, living on your own, doing
3.
it.
Been there
3 years. I always say five. She's been here for 3 years. But yeah, family's back home. She has her own place. She's doing it. She's
Hmm.
got 2, 3 jobs, just like doing it, doing it, doing it. So again, esthetician, server. She does hotel, spa services, and also some home services.
Right.
So with all of your experience and with these friends and relationships that you've created, what advice would you give to someone navigating love and friendships during this stage of their life?
Um, that's a great question. Um, to not rush, to take your time and to just vet out who's for you and who's not. Like you have to go through things in order to know if that person's for you because that person can be, whether it's your friend or not, can be the greatest person on the planet, but y'all might not just
May not be for each other, may not be the time.
yeah. But then you think about if that person's willing to compromise because like the thing is we're two opposite people, but at the same time we're the same. But it's not the fact that we're different, but seeing how we show up for each other and how we compromise our differences and
Hmm.
things like that. So I think that that's how you do it.
Yeah,
That's how you do it.
Just like being aware, kind of like checking in, checking, is this relationship serving me? Are we both putting in equal effort?
Yeah, exactly.
Or, what,
Mhm.
how is this, helping my life
Exactly.
or their life? How
Hmm.
is this benefiting both of us?
Both of us, yeah. And I think communication, like if you don't feel like they're doing it, communicate that, because a lot of people feel like they should just do it. No, some people aren't raised the same way.
Yeah,
Some
they
people.
really, it just doesn't even cross their mind.
Mm-mm.
So, I
So
mean, you can, yeah, it's
yeah,
always good to communicate instead of just ghosting them and being like,
mm,
blah, blah, blah.
they're not worth my time. No.
You could
If
tell them, like, hey, I just didn't think, like, I don't know, I felt like I was always doing this. And
showing up for you in this way, or this is how I want to be shown up for. And then if people change or you see them trying to grow, then you be like, okay, this person is for me.
yeah,
But if they don't, you
maybe
got to
it's
cut them
time.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with family. I
Hmm.
mean, that's anyone in your life.
Yeah.
Unless it's your kids, you kind of got to keep them. But
You don't have a choice.
even if they're toxic. Um,
And they can be the worst. I mean, literally, I have a dog, and I'd be like, "Girl, you're a little toxic.
yeah.
Like, you're stressing me out.
Yeah.
But I gotta take care of you."
We made a commitment. Um, so how do you know when to walk away from a relationship? We kind of just talked about that, but like friendship or romantic, like what's the breaking point of like when you have to walk away?
When they don't respect your boundaries,
Okay.
and once you, the thing is, you have to identify that with yourself first. What are my boundaries? What are deal breakers? What aren't? And then when you figure out what they are,
You
it's like,
communicate that to your friend or
mm-hmm,
your partner.
or whatever. And then if they're willing to work on it, cool. Sometimes you need time to lapse and they work on themselves. And then sometimes you just be like, no, I think you just know. I think it's intuition.
Yeah.
Like you just know this person is not serving me.
You're just not feeling it.
Yeah. And then this person just needs to work on themselves. You just kind
Mhm.
of know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I think I'm good at vetting out.
Okay. So, next question. So, growing up, you had a lot of health problems, a
Hmm.
lot. What age did you start having to go in and start getting surgeries and, it started getting serious for you?
I would say, well, I've always, like we said, I was sick in the womb. So coming out, I would say 2 weeks, because I was
Wow.
foaming at the mouth, blue in the face, and they just could not figure it out.
Oh
And
my
I was
gosh.
literally in the hospital for 2 to 3 weeks. I would say and I've always had surgeries in between then, but I would say the most monumental one for me was of getting sick was 13,
Mhm.
because that's when I started having, or was I 12? 12 or 13? I was seventh grade, I think. So 12. But I started having seizures, and
Mhm.
then I lost my memory, and
How
then
much memory?
a lot. Like I
Did it
didn't,
come back?
yeah, it ended up
Okay.
coming back, but to remember someone again was like I would have to, which people think it's crazy, but like when I be like, let's take pictures, let's make memories, or I need to touch you to feel, like me being a physical touch person isn't just like null and void and that's just my love language. Like, no, I had to literally hug my friends, touch my friends, look at them, and then like look at pictures we had in the past and be like, oh,
And like kind of get those memories back.
yeah,
That's
kind of get those memories back.
crazy. How long did it take?
I think 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then I remember being like hugging my one of my childhood. She was my very first best friend. And I remember specifically hugging her, and we were at her mom's church, and I just didn't know who she was.
Hmm.
And then I looked back at her. Like I looked back and I was like, it just clicked and I just started bawling. I was like, oh my God. Like
It's
I
crazy.
remember now. Like I remember all the old things. It was like flashes through my head.
That's so wild. I
Hmm.
just got chills.
Yeah. And then my first crazy, crazy surgery was 16 when I had spinal surgery. So I have 2 rods, 10 screws in my back. It doesn't affect me that much, but like I don't have like the best core strength, even though I work out.
Mhm.
Like sometimes I have really bad back spasms and stuff like
Mhm.
that. But yeah, I would say 12, 13, and 16 for the surgery.
Which is crazy, Like that's usually some pretty pivotal points in your life.
Mhm.
So, my question coming out of that is, what is something, kind of unexpected that you've learned from those health issues? And, obviously it changed your outlook on life, I'm
Mhm.
sure, but
That it doesn't define me. Like, I'm not my sickness, I'm not my health.
right.
I'm not what, me being bound to a bed or a hospital or medicine or whatever. I'm not that. I'm still normal. I'm still a human being.
Yeah.
Like, I just have different paths that other people had to take, and that
Mhm.
was just my path that God gave me, and I honestly feel like that's what shaped me today. So I'm
Yeah.
not really mad about it, but I do have this like little part in my heart where it's like, dang, I didn't get to be a kid. Like,
Yeah.
dang, I didn't get to do certain things. So now as an adult, I'm chasing.
You're very strong,
Yeah.
but now you're like, "Dang, I want to go to Six Flags. I want to go to the
Yeah.
water park."
I want to go to Disney World so bad.
Yeah.
I want to go to Disneyland. Like, I've never been. I want to go to Universal.
Oh my gosh, we're
I,
going to take you when we take Devin.
yeah, I've never been to a water park. And I love the water. I could swim like a mermaid, a fish. Hello? But I would love to go be a kid. I
We
want
should
a
do it.
trampoline as an adult.
I
Like,
have
oh,
I have a little one out there.
yeah. I only go so far though.
You jump like this high.
Right. 160 pounds. I'm not going so far.
We should go to the trampoline park.
Oh my God, girl. I want to
When
bounce
you
off
texted
one.
me when I was there and you didn't invite me, I was like, I didn't think you would want to come,
Yeah, I'm
but
a kid at heart.
shoot,
I'm a kid at
next
heart.
time.
My feelings was hurt. I was like, dang, I want to spend time with y'all and
I
go to
had
the
no
trampoline
idea.
park.
My bad. But yeah, it definitely obviously made you a really strong person.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Very resilient.
very resilient. How
Hmm.
could you not be at
Yeah.
that point?
Yeah.
But also learning it young, it's just that you're just like, it's now just ingrained in you.
Exactly. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but imagine a person like being blind or deaf, like not starting out that way, and then know what the world looks like or know what sounds sound like, and then never having that again. It's kind of like, well, when you're like that as a kid, it's like, well, you kind of learned because you're, like you said, like kids are more resilient when we can bounce back quicker. Like when
Yeah.
you're more an adult and
And you
stuff
don't
happens
know
to you.
anything different
Yeah.
either. So you have to do it.
So now that when stuff happens to me now, I'm like, I beat that before.
Yeah, that's nothing.
That's nothing. Who is
Yeah.
she? Yeah.
Yeah, God tests you though.
Uh, he. I told that man, do not sign me up, and he
He
keeps signing me up.
loves to test this girl. Maybe that's just your 20s. I don't know. Like, obviously, my 20s were
Mm-mm.
pretty rough, but
I don't want to be a strong soldier anymore. Just give me an easy
but
life.
it's so funny too. The way she gets tested, it's like so clear that like it's the
Yeah,
universe.
for
Like
sure.
it's just they make it funny.
Mhm.
Like it's not. It's obviously horrible things that happen
Mhm.
that are like really hard to get through,
Mhm.
but then you look back and you're like, "Oh, the lesson there was
Was crazy
clearly
and clear as day.
this."
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Or it
someone's telling
even
us.
felt like, oh, I was literally at, like, for instance, when my car got stolen. That's kind of basically when we first met. The whole time stuff was happening with my car, and I was like, God, I want a new car. Like, I need a new car. I
Mhm.
need a new car. Well, I didn't want it stolen when I didn't have no money starting a new job,
Yeah, she
you know?
just started a new job and it was at a nail salon. She was
Hmm.
the waxer there. I was the manager and we were the last people leaving that night. And we both are walking to our cars and we parked in the same row. And yeah, we get to our cars and she's like, "My car's,
Gone.
where is it?"
I know I parked here.
So
Something's
we
not
looked
right.
around a bit. Obviously, it's gone. I'm like, "All right, girl." It's like 9:30 at that point. I'm
Hmm.
like, "All right, let's go to the police station."
Yeah.
And I took her to the police station. And did I take you home?
No, Jada ended up
She
picking
met
me
you
up.
there.
Yeah.
But after that is really when we like
Clicked. I was like, oh,
started hanging out and
hmm.
yeah.
I was like, my girl got my back. She's a writer, I must say. If y'all don't know anything else, she's a writer. She comes through, she pulls through, and then she has like the best husband that allows her to do that. So I always be like, I owe him my life because imagine like when you have a single friend and then you're married, it's kind of like, well, no, I need you to be home, or I need you to be here with me, or be with 10 to my family. He allows her to be her.
And that's like my natural instinct is to always be at home, and I feel guilty for
Mm,
some reason if I leave the house, like when they're both here, I'm like, is that okay? Like,
yeah.
can I, like, are you guys gonna be
Are
okay?
you fine? And he's like, yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, it's never ever been a problem, and I'm just like, oh wow.
Yeah. So he allows you to be your authentic self.
Yeah, which I would never at this point in my life, I would never accept anything less
Right.
because, if you're gonna let a man tell you what to do, you're
In that regard, at least,
yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Your man better be letting you hang out with your friends, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Unless they're leading you down a path that
Right,
y'all don't
unless
agree
there's a
with.
clear reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, I love that. I think it's also like, again, going back to, I'm really nice to strangers.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, you were still kind of a stranger to me.
Yeah.
And then once I get to know you, and once you're like super close to me, then I'm really mean, unfortunately. But it's just because it's like I feel so close to you that I can take that filter out. Like naturally, I'm kind of a mean
Mm-hmm.
person, and I have to put this filter on to be nice.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I feel like with the people I'm close with, I can just let that filter go. I feel like it's actually erased. I feel like I don't have it's really hard to get a filter back with the people I love.
But pivoting back to us talking about how do you know, like, if somebody's your real friend or if you're in a relationship and stuff like that? Because I love you, I know who you are.
Yeah.
And so, of
And it's
course,
something I always try to work, like, obviously, it's a struggle for me
mhm,
and my husband
right.
because he's like, and I feel bad sometimes because I do say things in a really mean way sometimes, and he'll check me sometimes, be like, "Really? You could have said that nicer."
Yeah.
Or or like you said, he just knows that that's who I am. He knows that I don't mean to be mean or offensive by
Right.
it. That's
Hmm.
just like how my brain answered the question.
Yeah. But then also too, like, you like might struggle with accountability, but you allow us to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, who can't work with that? You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's what it goes back to
I
being
always
like,
say sorry. Like literally as soon as I realize my mistake and like calm down a second, within 5-10 minutes, I usually always say, I'm sorry.
yeah.
I could have been better. I'm trying. I'm so sorry.
But
You did not deserve that.
that's what anybody could ask for, and you truly try to do better. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you're so hard on yourself, and it's like you're such a good person. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's gonna get it to right every freaking time. If we like at that point, who are
Yeah.
we? Jesus? Through the universe? We're God? What?
I promise I
No.
have a good heart in there. I'm just a little jaded. So
Okay, Drake. Drake. Drake.
baby girl. All right, next question. We got a couple more here.
Okay.
All right. Your passion is
Aesthetics.
aesthetics.
Hmm.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
We see that
Hmm.
through your aura, through your looks. We see it. It's just you can tell by looking at you. Okay.
Hmm.
Um
Well, thank you. I try.
so that, obviously entails, it has a lot to do with confidence and self-care and, you
Hmm.
know, taking pride in how you look.
Hmm.
What is some advice you could give for someone who may be struggling with their appearance or body positivity?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because you're very confident.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, everybody has their days or are hard on
Of
themselves,
course,
but
yes, you can't be 100% all the time, but
I
comparing, you're very,
I know this sounds weird and probably the opposite of what you actually should do, so don't take my advice completely. But if
maybe
I'm
just
having
test it out.
just test it out. But like, say for instance, I've always been like a chunkier girl my whole life, always. And I've just like recently lost weight and stuff like that, but sometimes I have body dysmorphia. And so I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, "Oh my god, like this that." And then I'd be like, "Whoa." Like, first of all, the face card doesn't decline. But
Never.
if you need to do something about it, get your ass and go to the gym. Like, stop eating that. Put that bun down. Like, don't drink that wine. Like, kind of having a little bit of discipline. And so then it just goes to and then be like, you know what? You're so pretty. Like, your eyes look good, your brows look good. Like, and then actually like doing stuff to make myself feel pretty.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna buy me a cute little dress, even if it's $10 at the Goodwill
Yeah.
or at the Dillard's clearance. Like,
Yeah.
actually put my makeup on, do
Mhm.
something to my hair, actually be active to do it, do my skincare.
Yeah.
Like for this podcast, I didn't feel like wearing any makeup, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do my skincare and
Mhm.
feel good in my skin. I probably would have never, probably not even 6 months ago, not even 3 months ago, been like, I'm going on a worldwide podcast and not put makeup on. Worldwide. Because we're going
Ooh.
worldwide, baby. Call me, call us Pitbull. Don't play with it. Worldwide.
Mrs. Worldwide.
Mrs. Worldwide.
That's me.
But yeah, no, just looking in the mirror and giving myself affirmations. And then the people that I surround myself around genuinely think, like, I'm pretty. Like, I was like, do I need to put makeup on? I asked you, and you were like, no, you're always pretty without no makeup.
And you were like,
And I was
"No,
like,
really, I need it sometimes. Look."
yeah,
And I
no,
was like,
yeah,
"No."
look, you see that?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, you look fine. I'm like, okay. And that helps boost your confidence because the reassurance.
Mhm.
And so, and I know you would tell me if I need it. So
Mhm.
it's just surrounding yourself around people that uplift you, you uplift yourself, do something for yourself, even if it's small. That.
Yeah, I mean, if you're feeling yucky and you're like looking in the mirror and like, ugh, I just feel blah.
Mhm.
Well, okay, what can you do? I mean, comb your hair, brush your teeth, do
Mhm.
your skincare.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a lot.
That's a good first step. You're gonna feel a little better, and
Mhm.
then put on some makeup. It doesn't have to be a full face, but make yourself a little fresh, and it always
Clean.
once you feel like you feel good about yourself, it
Mhm.
really does change your whole day. It
Yeah.
really does. Even if you're not looking in the mirror, even if you're just working from home,
Mhm.
sometimes when I just, put my hair up, do something with my hair, put at least a decent outfit on, not my pajamas,
Mhm.
and do a little makeup, I just feel so much more productive. I
Yeah.
don't feel like a slob walking around my house.
In my
Like,
pajamas.
yeah.
Yeah. Hair all over my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just fake it until
You make it.
you get there,
Mhm.
until you feel better.
Yeah. And then sometimes I'd be like, I'm her.
Do your
Even when I don't
brows.
feel
If you
like it.
don't know how, do a little tutorial, or go to Bréa, and go to your local brow girl and just get them fixed up. Spend the $25,
Yeah,
It's
it's
worth
worth
your
it.
happiness if you have it.
Mhm.
And if you don't, hit me up. I might send it to you because you'd probably deserve it.
Yeah, for real.
Um yeah. So talking about brows, what is brows and waxing? Okay, what is the most common misconceptions about waxing or brows? Like, what's something people don't usually expect when you tell them?
Hmm. That with brows, people think, well, my hairs are too light.
Hmm.
So, like for tinting, for example, like they'll be like, oh, my hairs are too light. It's not going to show up. And it's like, it will show up. Well, like my brows are too thin. Nothing's going to happen. Well, if you have the right product and we wax you up and give you a good shape, like you'll be fine. Like people think they don't have brows, so it won't show
Okay.
that. And then for waxing, the misconception is that your hair needs to be like super super long, and like I understand that they say a grain of rice, but truly it needs to be just a grain of rice, and a grain of rice is not that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just got it. Your hair, to get a wax, your hair has to be a little bit grown out
Mhm.
because it needs the wax to stick to something to pull out the whole follicle.
Yeah, correct.
Or else it's just, if it's too short, then
You can't
it's
pick it
either
up.
not going to pull it out, or it might just break off the tip, and then
Exactly.
that's no point of getting a wax. A wax is supposed to be not shaving for 2 weeks because
Mhm.
the whole underground hair is even gone.
Exactly. Or even the fact that people think, oh, like that's why we tell you to stay on a routine. It won't hurt forever.
Hmm.
Now, it might feel like a band-aid being pulled off, but it won't hurt. Like,
It does get better,
it does
if
get better
only if you listen.
and stay consistent.
Yeah, no
Mhm.
one listens to the aftercare, I feel like,
Mm-mm.
and that's how you ruin your wax. That's how you get horrible ingrown hairs and
Exactly.
bumps, and it
Mhm.
hurts, and
Yeah.
you have to listen. Even with brows, aftercare for your brows, any procedure, any cosmetic, anything that you get done, aftercare is literally half of the
Half of the
procedure.
procedure. Yeah.
Like, if you don't go home and follow the instructions, it's not going to be what you expected.
Exactly. It's just kind of like getting a facial, and it's like, well, yeah, I can come and do the work here, but if
Mhm.
you're not going home and actually doing your skincare every night and doing something to it, you're gonna still stay in the
If you
same
go
boat.
home and sleep in your makeup, like,
Yeah, you're eating
that's on you.
terribly. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
um what's give me one funny story. You have a ton of funny waxing stories, a ton of scary, ton of disgusting wax stories.
yeah,
What's just a good light funny one?
a light funny one.
I want to tell them real quick, the misconceptions. I never knew before working with you and,
Hmm.
having a waxer in my, vicinity. Everyone who goes down on a wax table ends up male, you're going to get hard.
Yeah,
Female,
you're gonna get
you're
wet.
going to get a little drippy.
Yeah,
And you can't
like
help it. And I
no
was like, "No way." Like,
way.
and I was like, I'm not going to do that when I get waxed. Obviously, I did. It's just the heat, it's just your
Yeah,
body's
it's
natural
warm.
thing. And then for guys, I guess, I don't know. You
Somebody's
tell me
touching
how that
you.
works, but yeah.
Yeah,
So it's definitely gone too far for you at
yeah,
points with the men, which is terrifying.
a lot of
Not
yeah.
okay, guys.
Not okay. And
Don't do
honestly,
that.
I genuinely don't feel like I can tell any of the male stories because somebody might get triggered, and we don't need to
Yeah,
do
it's like
trigger warning.
PTSD at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
hmm.
I would say the funny story.
One
Hmm.
time you were doing brows and
Oh, yo, I literally. So I didn't brush up her hair. Yo, I didn't brush. I brushed up her hair, but it was curly, and I don't know what happened. I was using soft wax instead of using hard wax as I would normally do. Y'all, I took more hair than I should have. And I was like, oh. And I was so scared. And I was like, oh my God. But I wanted to show her in the moment. I was like, I got to show you. And she literally cried. And it's nothing that I could, I mean, it's on your face. I mean, of course. And she didn't come back to me for like 2 months.
who was it again?
It was,
Oh yeah.
yeah. And I felt so bad. I was like, I
And they
know she,
work together
and then
every
we worked
day.
together every day. And I was like, "Eek." But she came back and I never did that again. And I learned my lesson because it's trial and error. Like,
Yeah, I mean
even,
everyone messes up. We're all humans.
yeah, that made me really
Even
sad.
though you're really good at what you do, I mean,
Yeah.
every once in a while, you're not perfect.
I low key questioned my profession at that point. I was like,
I know. You're
maybe I
like, should I stop?
should I stop? Because I messed up this girl's brows. Like,
Hmm.
yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely trial and error, and
Hmm.
there's a lot to learn from these jobs, a lot that you don't expect. I never expected half of this waxing stuff that I've learned.
Yeah.
Um, but you think being a server and an esthetician, you think any of those skills from either job like kind of overlap?
Most definitely, because it's all about hospitality. It's all about you work with people all the time. You have
Yeah.
to know how to talk to them. Not that they're always right, because I don't agree with that statement. Like the customer's always right.
No,
No,
that's not
you're
true.
not. Actually, sometimes you're dead wrong,
Mhm.
sister girl, or sir. But I mean, I think it's more of like, yeah, the hospitality, how to deal with irate clients, how to deal with
Yep.
nice ones, how to even just run a business. I think they're both
Mhm.
like, no, me serving isn't a business, but you're in someone else's business. So how to always like,
And it's kind of like each table is your business,
it's your business, yeah, because you have to like build a relationship with each one. And
Mhm.
people used to say, even with me serving when I first started, they would be like, "You're too close to them, like you're too nice." And then all of a sudden, now they change their handbook and they're like, "We need you to get closer with your
Oh
customers."
my
And I'm like,
goodness.
"Well, that's what I've been
You're
doing,
welcome.
so you're welcome." Yeah, that's why I have some of the best Yelp and Google reviews at my restaurant. So.
And repeat customers.
That come back and spend hundreds and thousands of dollars with me. So, yeah.
So yes, your skills do combine and overlap, which is
Hmm.
awesome. So because you're talking to people all day
All
long
day long, which is exhausting sometimes.
and dealing with different types of people and
Mhm.
getting personal with them.
Mhm.
You're in their dining experience, you're in their crotch,
Mhm.
you name it.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest or again, the most unexpected thing that you've learned about human beings with all these
That
experiences?
genuinely we're all the same. Like that people just need love too. Because either whether you're in a serving position or whether you're in a doing esthetician work in the beauty world, they will literally tell you in school, you're their therapist.
Mhm.
I'm your gynecologist. I'm your dermatologist, all in one.
Yeah.
And it's genuinely the same. Both, like, I know so many people's life stories. I know what's happening every month, and sometimes they text
Mhm.
me in between and be like, "Girl, you're not gonna believe what he did to
No, you
me."
make friends
You,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you really are. You kind of build a relationship with them.
yeah.
Hmm.
I think I think everyone in the world should be forced to serve
At least one time.
for, for
For
at
like
least a
a
month.
year.
A year, a
A
month.
year.
I'm not even kidding. I'm not
So you,
even kidding.
yeah.
It will change your whole perspective.
Mhm.
I every time I go out to eat, I clean my table for them, stack the plates, like
Mhm.
you just it changes your whole outlook on eating out
Yeah.
because I mean, you don't realize what servers go through. It is a
Mhm.
hard job. You're on your feet 8 hours at a time. You don't sit down,
Mhm.
not once.
Not once.
You're going back and forth, back and forth.
You don't eat.
You don't eat the whole time. You're too busy. You might
Mhm.
get a couple fries that fell off the plate.
Right. Exactly.
Um but other than that, you're running around, you go to your table, and set something down. They're like, "Can I get a ranch?" Sure thing. You go and grab the ranch, you set it down. "Can I get some hot sauce?"
Mhm.
Sure thing. While five other tables are asking you the same
The
thing.
same thing.
And you have to bring the food to that one. You have to cash out that one. And you
Mhm.
have to remember all of this too.
Exactly. And then they don't even give you grace. And then, like, the thing is it's okay to repeat yourself a couple times. Like,
Yeah.
I'm busy girl. Like, I got a 15 top, and then I
Hmm.
have four tops or six top,
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, if you ask me for ranch and I didn't bring it, it's not because I'm being rude to you. It's
Right.
because maybe I actually genuinely forgot. And then
And you're a
some,
human.
yeah, I'm human. Something triggered me to remember, just say, oh, I forgot, or I didn't get this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like when they're taking your order and it's busy. You've seen them running around. You see the sweat in their hair, no? And they're taking
Dripping
your
off like
order.
tears.
"What can I get for you?" And you're like, I don't know. Hmm. What do you think about this? What's on that one?" It's
Re-
like
oh,
just in that situation, you're wasting the server's time that she could be doing things for other tables or she's busy, guys. So if you need
bruh.
a minute, say, "Oh shoot. I just need a minute. If you could come check back in a second. I'll
Yeah.
be ready."
No, what takes me over the edge is, I always say, reading is fundamental, not for the mental. And if you are mental, I'm a little mental myself, but come on.
Yeah, just
Like,
say, "Hey, I'm sorry. Can you help me with the menu? I'm eh."
yeah, I literally told one of the ladies, she just was like, she asked me, so what's good? Okay, cool. Don't mind answering that question. But then she's like, so what's on the burger? What's in this? What's in that? Like, did you read? Did you look to
No.
even see that this is what they said the sides are? You're
Mhm.
asking me what all the sides are, what's in the sides, what they taste like. Girl, I don't have time for this. Read
Mhm.
the menu. Just,
Before you come,
yeah. I literally said to her, I said, are you corporate? Because at this point,
are you testing
are
me?
you testing me? What's happening? What's happening, Miss Girl?
Yeah. Don't
Yeah,
play.
don't play. I was like, can you read it? Like, I don't have time. And I was like, I'm not trying to be rude. Open the menu. It's right beside you. Fold it up. Read.
Honestly, look at the menu before you go, guys.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
On in the car, you
It's not
have
that hard.
internet. Yes.
Girl, they just make it so hard.
But yeah, seriously, it will change your whole perspective.
Hmm.
Yesterday or the day before, I had a doctor's appointment, spring break. My daughter had to go. So I'm like, let's go to brunch. We go to this little brunch spot, and we're the second people in the restaurant. And the server is the only server at the restaurant. It's morning. They just open. That's normal, right? Except 10 tables came right in out of nowhere,
Mm.
all separate tables. And so soon she starts running around, right? She did take our order before it got busy, but she comes back and says, "I got avocado toast, bowl of berries, a waffle." She comes back after she talks to her manager. "So sorry, we don't have the berries. Can we do apple and orange?" "Sure, that's fine. I just wanted fruit." Comes back a second later after arguing with her manager again. "I'm so sorry, we can't do the avocado toast. It's not brunch because brunch is only the weekend."
Mm.
I said, "Okay, sure." as I see a plate walk by with a half avocado on top. Whatever. But she just argued with her manager. I saw that. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. And she's like, do you want anything else? And I'm like, looking at the menu, I was like, give me a sec. I'll be ready in just a second if you want to swing back. And she came back. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. It was all lunch. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'll just eat this apple and orange. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's fine. Like, don't even worry about it.
Mhm.
And we got waters to drink. Like, she was probably like, oh my God, I'm not getting any money
Any
from
money.
this table.
Yeah.
And all the other tables were old people.
So, and
I'm
they
like,
don't tip
she's
that
not
well.
going to get any tips. And she's busting her butt right now. I can see her sweating. I can see her running like she's stressed. So we left and she gave us the check. I just had my card at the end of the table. She was busy. It did take a minute, but she was like, I'm so sorry. And my total was $15 and I left her a $15 tip. Like,
That's
I'm
super
like,
nice. Yeah.
please, I just hope you get to leave with something good for, busting your butt
Yeah.
and being so apologetic and so nice to me. And, I could have been a jerk in that situation
Right.
too.
Because 9 times out of 10, it's not the service the server's fault.
Yeah, it's
Come on,
either the
girl. Poetry,
kitchen or
please.
their manager or
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
and if you worked at a restaurant, you would know
The
that.
busser, they don't do their job either, and we always have to take the fall for it because they don't do because they're human and they make mistakes, but it affects our tip because
Yep.
that's what we live off of.
And you know
So,
what? Just clean up your table a little bit. Clean up your trash and the yucky stuff at least.
mhm,
Because how disgusting and rude is that of you? People are coming with their hands to pick that stuff up
mhm.
and they're touching like your spit out food or
And
dirty
your
napkins
gum,
and gum left
and
everywhere.
especially after
Like,
your kids.
just be a little bit respectful and
Yeah.
just make it a little bit easier for them to not, have their hands disgusting.
Yeah, because I understand that people 9 times out of 10, people that come out, I don't have a child myself, but I do have empathy for people that still want to have their own individuality and have go on dates with their husband or wife or whatever, and they have a child being a child, and you
Mhm.
can't help that, but you can kind of contain it a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
don't let them trash the whole floor and the top of the table and throw crayons
And rip up a
everywhere.
napkin and
And yeah.
throw it apart. And you know what? My daughter did that stuff. And you know what I would do? I'd take a napkin or a wipe from my purse and just bend down a little bit and just get as much as I can. At least I tried. At
Yeah.
least I'm not being a jerk and just saying, someone else is cleaning it up. I
Yeah,
paid
not
to
my
eat
problem.
here, so
Yeah.
blah blah blah. I own the place.
Yeah. And one more thing that I have to say on this is, do not, just because you're going out to eat, does not give you the right to sit at least past 2 hours in one section.
Yeah.
Like,
This server that's serving you, she depends on different multiple tables
to make
coming
the
to
money.
each table so she
Hmm.
can get tips throughout the night.
Exactly. So sitting there after you've paid out or being like, oh, I'm not ready yet,
You're taking money
you're
from the
taking money
server.
from the
She
server.
could have another table there paying her
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. It's just a little inconsiderate.
Yeah, so just be aware. I think all in life, not just when you go out to eat, be aware not only of your own surroundings, which
Hmm.
not enough people do, but about the other people around you.
Right.
If you see on someone's face they're distressed, like just pick up on clues, guys.
Yeah.
Use your brains a little harder.
Exactly.
It's not just you in the world. I know you think it is,
I was thinking the same thing.
but
It's
it's
not just about you. Like, yes, it's your episode, it's your season 5, but it's not
you're
just
the
about
main
you.
character, sure, but you're
Yeah,
not the only one.
exactly.
Last question. I think I'm gonna ask every guest as their last question, what superpower would you choose?
Oh, that is so hard. I'm an overthinker, and I used to say always to like read, be like telepathic, like to be able to like read somebody's
I
mind.
hate that one.
But honestly, I'm an overthinker anyway. So maybe, honestly, maybe that because I do overthink,
Mm.
I would rather go ahead and read their mind
And just be
and
done with
just
it.
be done with it. Like, maybe you could have caused yourself a
Too
little
much
bit.
stress. But then
Yeah.
maybe you're like, no, it's fine. And then you read into their mind and you're
And you're
like,
like, actually, it's what I thought it was. Exactly. So that, and then maybe like something like,
you only get one.
no, not in this world.
You
Not
only
in my
get
world.
one.
That or okay, that or maybe like to fly.
That would be fun. I would love to fly.
to fly.
How free. I think I would want to be a bird in my next life.
Honestly, yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at
It's
it.
kind of fun. They
Yeah,
live outside, got
yeah.
all their bird
They
friends,
mind their
sit on the
business.
wires.
Yeah, not too
It's
much in
kind of
their
fun.
pathway. Yeah, I agree.
And no one's like out there shooting pigeons. You could
No.
be a pigeon, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
All right. Well,
Unless
that
you.
was all my questions. I love that. You gave us some really great answers, some really great advice.
Thanks.
Um, Devin, can you tell me how long we've been recording? And if it's still recording? Okay, perfect. All right. So, we're at the part of the episode where you're just going to teach us something about your expertise, your knowledge. So, I was thinking um usually I'm going to have the guests pick their own topic, but, we're just helping assist out, I guess. I was thinking you could teach us just real quick. I was gonna do waxing, but I think brows might be well, waxing could be more for men and women though.
hmm
It's usually men don't even believe that men get waxed, but yeah, they
But they
get
do.
waxed. The arms, legs,
The
bikini,
area,
our swim trunk area.
ears,
A
they
lot
do
of guys get swim trunk areaed. A
a
lot.
lot. More than you think.
A lot more than you
Just because your
think.
friend's not telling you,
Doesn't mean they're not doing it.
they're coming to see me.
Some of them need that smooth bottom
Yeah,
for
especially for like sports and stuff. If you,
that too.
yeah, they really come and get that done.
Mhm.
But I mean, they do their ears a lot. Men, like the
Smart.
older
The
they get,
nose.
their nose, yeah, it's really bad. They'll do their chest.
Mhm.
That's
Back.
their back. Yeah, back. I would say normally back, chest, ears, nose, and then maybe their beard area under here because they break out a lot
Mhm.
because of
So
shaving.
waxing is a little cleaner than
hmm
shaving. Less bumpy if you take care of it.
Exactly.
So why don't you teach us just like kind of a quick run through of the waxing process? Like if you've never been waxed, where do you start?
I would
You
say,
find a person, right?
yeah, find a person. I would.
Someone that is probably recommended to you by someone. Find someone else that has been waxed. Go to someone,
Mhm.
you know,
Honestly, I know it sounds crazy, but I used to work at EWC, which is European Wax Center. Shout out to them, but I personally wouldn't go there first for my first wax only because some of them are new and haven't been there that long, and also because they're just trying to get their SPT up. It's like they're not taking the time to get to know
it's
you
not
as a person.
caring.
Yeah. So
It's just a business.
they're
You're
going
just
in and out.
another person.
Yeah, you're literally another person. You're another dollar.
S-
No offense. And that's honestly almost any waxing corporation.
Mhm.
But I was find an actual person to go to that has a suite or something. And then I would do pre-op care, so exfoliating, oiling down there.
People don't realize how important exfoliating is. I always
hmm
was like, exfoliate, exfoliate.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
But no, the harder, get it rough.
Yeah.
Get
Get in
something
there.
rough, like even rougher than a loofah, those hard sponges, scrub circles, tiny circles.
Yeah.
It really makes a huge
It
difference.
really
I
does.
until I tried it, I had no idea.
Yeah, and it helps with the bumps. It helps with the dry skin. Like the hair comes out
Smooth
easier.
shave,
Yeah.
smooth wax.
Yeah, so much better. But yeah, I would say that, and then after the pre-op care, I would say oiling, put a little hydrogen
What
peroxide.
kind of oil you think? Just some vitamin E or
Um
some
Fur oil, I would, and I know this not
guys don't use fur oil, so just like what's something you can get easily from anywhere.
I yeah, I guess vitamin E, but not directly after. I would just wait probably like 48 hours after if you're
Once you
gonna
don't
do.
feel it opening,
Yeah, because any too much of anything is too much. So it's like just overly concentrated vitamin E oil sometimes is
might
not
be too much.
might be too much.
Okay.
So
But fur oil, FUR, is like the best shaving, waxing, body care oil.
yeah, the
A
oil.
little pricey, but it smells amazing.
Yeah. And you can invest in yourself.
And you can put it everywhere for
Mm-hmm.
anything. It's
Exactly. Your
all,
hair.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that exfoliating and not taking like hot showers right after, like trying to
This is post
eliminate.
op care,
This is
yes?
post-op
Okay.
care. So eliminating sweat. So no working out, no sex for 24 hours,
No friction.
no friction. no hot showers, no swimming if you can avoid it, stuff like that.
You said gym.
Gym, yeah. And to go on that topic, don't go to the gym before you like unless you shower. Don't go to the gym
Right
and not
before your
shower right
wax.
before your wax if you're
Like
not
we
going
know
to
you
shower.
can't do it after, but you can do it that morning, but don't go straight from the gym to the wax. That's disrespectful, you
It's
guys. She's
disgusting.
up in your stuff.
Yeah. I don't want to smell it. I
And
promise.
every waxer is going to offer you a wipe, a baby wipe beforehand. Take the wipe.
Take the wipe.
Just do it, just in case. Even if you went and did this when you were at home,
Take the wipe.
just in case,
Just a
guys.
little,
Did
you
you
know.
look in the mirror? Did you bend over and look in the mirror?
And make
Because
sure.
just do an
Yeah.
extra.
A little extra wipe.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Um,
Because if you don't want to deal with your hygiene, what makes you think I do? I don't care that I get paid for it.
yeah. At that point, it's just like a health violation.
Yeah. You're just nasty. No offense. No. Disrespectfully, actually.
Yeah, like you must have no shame.
None.
Ugh. All right. Use the baby wipe, please. So yeah, thanks for teaching us a little about post-op care for waxing. And again, if you're gonna go get a wax, find someone reputable. Make sure your hair's grown out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if they come in and it's full bush?
That's fine too.
How would you handle that?
Um,
Do you shave it a little bit
yeah,
or?
no, I just might, depending on where it is, like especially if you are a girl, any guy, girl, I would just trim it a little bit. Personally, let your esthetician trim it for you
Okay,
because
there you
typically
go.
you'll try to trim it yourself and then you'll go too low and then the hair's not going to come up. So I'll typically trim it a little bit
Let
and
your
then
girl trim it for you.
yeah, or
Don't
guy,
worry about it. She's got you
I
covered.
got you covered. That's what you pay me for.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I love that. Now you know a little bit more about the waxing world. You know that guys do it a lot more than you thought. You know
Mm-hmm.
how to take care of it after. You know that's the most important part.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, going on to the rest of the episode here. You taught us something. We talked about friends. We talked a little bit about family. No.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. You have a mom, a dad, a brother.
Mm-hmm.
We love them.
Love them.
Talk to mom every day. Best friend.
Literally every day, multiple times a day.
What do you think about your family? Anything to say about them?
I love them. Like they're solid. Like I
They
said,
made you who you are
they made me who
today.
am today. Everybody has trauma, everybody has things, but for the most part, they have held me down, and I appreciate them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
How do you feel about kids?
Love children. I would say from birth to like 4, 5-ish range. I think that's my niche. I think that's what I enjoy the most. And then between that and like 13, I think because I'm not a mother, I kind of check out a little bit, but I still love them and it just requires more attention. I
Yeah,
think that's the thing. And right now I don't have that, but I think once I become a mother of my own, I would have the more attention to give them. But
yeah,
that and then older than that, like teenage years, I could do. But I love children and
yeah.
I want them one day, I
How
think.
many are you
Um
thinking?
in my young girl world, I would say 4
Mm-hmm.
because it's just me and my brother. Like my mom had a lot of miscarriages, so we did not have the opportunity to have a lot of siblings and cousins, even for that matter. So we kind of missed out on that kind of family dynamic.
Yeah,
So I want 4 just because it's an even number and 3 is weird. But realistically, how many will I actually have? Maybe 1 or 2.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do want to adopt one day.
I would love to adopt.
I would love to adopt.
Honestly, I don't want any more kids. To be honest with you, I never grew up wanting kids. I was actually told I couldn't have kids,
Hmm.
and obviously I could. Look at Devin.
Oh, you didn't know if you wanted kids.
Oh,
Now that you have Devin.
okay. But yeah, obviously I had Devin and I love her to pieces. Best thing that ever happened to me. But yeah, my husband and I are both really good with one kid. When she's 18, we're going to be like 42.
Young.
Hopefully we can retire by 45
Hmm.
and, you know, go live on an island or, half
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're excited.
And I don't think anything's wrong with that. People try to put so much shame because even me, like
I
I
don't think that was my purpose to just like make a bunch of kids. I don't feel
no,
like that's my purpose.
no,
Some people do. That's fine.
yeah, and love that for them. But for me, it's not. Like that's what I would love.
I want to put all of everything into her because that's
Yeah,
what it takes from me. If
yeah.
I had to do two,
Ooh.
I don't know how you're going to turn out. That's why I kind of want to adopt. Also, I hate being pregnant. Blech.
Yeah, and that was my next point. Like
Giving
I don't
birth.
know if I actually want to hold a kid in my own body. Like
Yeah.
I want my own seed. So I don't mind having a surrogate.
Might get a surrogate, but I don't know.
Yeah, I could do a
We have two
surrogate.
dogs also.
Yeah. But also I think y'all are still so young. Y'all
Yeah.
had her young, so it's
But
like
yeah, but maybe I would love to adopt an older child and
yep.
help them out in life, or
How
maybe
old? How much
foster.
old?
I don't
How
know.
much
I'm not
older?
going to like be choosy and picky, but
Yeah.
if it's I mean maybe like 13 to 16 even.
Wow.
I'll even,
Yeah.
I'll even take an 18-year-old or 17-year-old. That's going to take a shorter amount of time before I get him out of the house.
Yeah. I think my thing is all about because I even have this thought of like having less kids because my heart's so big that my kids are like her mom is one of those people that have the like she sets out the charcuterie boards and little snacks and like I want to be the house that my
Everyone
kids
comes
everyone's
to.
to come
Yeah,
to.
everyone goes to my mom's house for everything.
Yeah, for everything. So I want to be that mother. I want to be able to and so that's
Be
why
the perfect host and
yeah.
everyone loves your food and
Spend the night and this is because personally I don't want my kids going over other
mm-mm.
people's houses to stay the night. I want them to be able to feel free to everybody come over here, and y'all can stay the night, have a room, a den or something,
Mhm.
game room, something to yourself. So
Yep.
yeah, I want if because I always think about what if my kid goes to school and they have one of their friends that can't literally like they don't have the best upbringing and we adopt them. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I just only still have 3 or 4 kids and not 5 or 6.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't write my stories, so who knows? But I'm still in that limbo of do I actually want to birth my own or do I want a surrogate?
I think with your medical history,
I don't want to.
you should because I think epidural would be really hard for you
I
or
can't have one.
yeah, girl.
So
So
it's only
please don't do it
natural or they got
natural.
to knock me out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please. I would get a surrogate if you can.
if I can.
Because
But
it's already my birth went really smoothly, luckily. I mean, she swallowed a little bit of fluid on her way out and had to go to the NICU for like 6 hours, which was horrible. We didn't get hardly any time when she got out,
mm,
maybe like 5 minutes. It was awful.
yeah.
But other than that, everything went really smoothly. I was really lucky.
Yeah, my biggest concern on that is, like I said, I can't have an epidural. So
And it was still hardest thing in my life.
yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, if I have a C-section, they're
One of
going
them.
to have to knock me out. So the fact that I won't be able to actually have that one-on-one contact with my baby, like,
Yeah, it's
and
not great.
that's not gonna. I'm gonna be sad about that.
Mhm.
And if I'm already thinking that now, imagine postpartum right after. I'm gonna most definitely be feeling like I was robbed from that time. And
Mhm.
then, but if I do the natural way, like I will have because I don't want to have a kid unless I'm married, but I want a water birth and I want to do it right. And
Yeah,
I don't want
water
to,
births
yeah,
are recommended
yeah, I don't want
over
to
the
lay on my
hospital.
back. And yeah, I don't want all that. And I need a partner that's strong.
Oh yeah, you
I
need
need a strong man,
him to be putting in
the work.
a lot of the work.
Yeah. And having empathy and realizing that, like, this is the greatest gift that I'm giving you outside of marrying me.
Yeah. And you're going to take care of her because she is birthing your child,
Mm-hmm.
creating your baby.
Yeah.
She's going to be grumpy, she's going to be cranky, she's going to ask you to go to the store at midnight.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Because realistically, which I feel like whoever I marry, if um is really actually going to have it super easy, like because my parents are so full on that my mom is probably
Is
going to
moving in with
they're
you.
moving in. Yeah, she says that still to this day, like I'm
And that's
moving in.
honestly best. You're going to think, I hate this. That sounds awful.
Hmm.
But I purposely moved in with my parents when I got pregnant because
Yeah,
I'm like, please help me.
yeah, my mom was
I
like,
don't know what I'm doing.
yeah,
How do you give a baby a bath for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I
But
don't want to hurt it.
she's an awesome parent, guys. Like her and Logan, like literally does an amazing job. Like Devin is so smart. She's so like smart is intelligent, but she's just so like witty and funny already and have character to herself, and she has balance of being able to watch an iPad and being able to watch a movie but or whatever TV, but still has the balance of she's probably like one of the smartest kids in her class and probably gonna skip a few
And
grades.
loves
And
playing outside, going to the park.
yeah.
She has friends
Hmm. Yeah, she's great.
that she's kept. She has one friend for like 2 years now,
Hmm.
which is crazy.
It's crazy. They do a great amazing job. So I know
Thank
I'm going to
you.
be asking them for advice on how to raise my
Thank
little
you.
ones when that time comes. But also, I kind of want to be an older parent. And by older parent, I mean like don't want to
30s.
start 30s because I'll have more patience.
Devin was brought into this world to teach me patience.
Mm.
And I've come a long, long way, you guys. I'm far from perfect, as we all probably have guessed by now.
Oh, any parent, honestly.
But I've come a long way. We still got a lot to do. She tests me every day.
But you know what I think that you should be proud of is that one thing I feel like is she's not going to have to grow up with any trauma.
Yeah.
Like you all put in the work to make sure that she has the best life possible. And I'm not saying there's nothing that she's going to think of and be like, well, you did this and I saw this. But for the most part, you have guys have shielded her so much from scrutiny and how other people act and making sure she's safe and not putting her in, around weird people that most of the trauma that we all have experienced, she won't have to be, and that won't have to be her story.
Yeah.
She like no,
And
she's not
that's
a
my goal.
yeah, she's not a nepo baby, but she's a nepo baby, low key when it comes to the trauma realm.
Well, I don't
Low
know. She's
key,
pretty spoiled too.
yeah, pretty spoiled, but y'all give her balance.
Yeah. No, and she's smart enough. She knows her rights and wrongs, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, she's cool.
She's super smart.
She's a cool little kid.
She's, I think, the smartest girl in kindergarten right now. She can fully read. She is writing full sentences, perfect
Count.
handwriting. Obviously, she can count. She does math, addition, subtraction, some multiplication.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think she's literally the smartest one. I tell me if you know any other 6-year-old that can fully read a book with no pictures
And right.
and write.
Yeah.
And not only read, but comprehend and use inflection in
Mm-hmm.
her reading,
Mm-hmm.
which is
And
insane.
then we'll like sound out a word and be like, what does that mean? And then you tell her and she
She
uses it
remembers
right
it
in a
immediately.
sentence. Yeah. It's insane.
She's so smart.
She's smart. They doing a good job.
All right. Ending it up here. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, of course.
But ending this story. Oh, real quick. I forgot exactly what was said, but the other day I was leaving my parents' house and my dad's like something like not being rude, but he was like, "Oh, you think you're doing a good job at parenting?" Something like that. And I was like, yeah. I barely put my hands on her." And he looked at me and he was like, and I was like, I thought it was the funniest thing. And I was like,
No, yeah.
no, really. Like, she's only gotten a couple light spankings, but like that, ooh, the times that I wanted to, I've done a great job, okay?
She barely gets to be down.
Whew,
Yeah, because how many spankings did we get growing up?
too many.
Okay.
I would
Yeah.
fake it though. I'd be like, I'd scream extra hard. I'd be like, that hurts so bad. No, it didn't. But you have anything in the news that you want to talk about or share your feelings or?
Oh yeah. I literally saw what yesterday that they were like, um, Gen Zs aren't doing the best when it comes to like their mental health and they're having more breakdowns.
And we also can buy diamonds. Diamond sales are going like what do you think's happening? Like
Like
put
for
two and
real.
two together. We're
No,
not doing good.
yeah, like come on, compared to boomers, like we are living in literally going on a recession
Yeah.
right now.
You
Like
guys boomers bought their house for a raspberry and a twig.
in a twig.
And now we're making over $100,000 a year and can't
Afford it still.
like we're not like just swiping here and there,
Yeah.
living great.
And the fact that minimum wage is still only $8, 7.25.
Yeah.
is insane to me.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
All the inflation prices are only going up from
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yep. Eggs are freaking $5.
Well, every price is lumber's gonna go up, groceries are gonna go up, all these tariffs.
Yeah.
Everyone's raised their price on everything.
Did you see that Canada was talking about, oh,
No,
like,
they raised their electricity
but he
tariffs.
was talking about if he doesn't
Cutting it
stop,
off,
they're
yeah.
cutting it off.
Yeah. We're not getting into politics, but just
Yeah.
this is crazy.
Just
This
saying
isn't
that this
politics.
isn't politics. I'm just saying that
Crazy.
how do you think we're,
How
of
do you
course, we're
think we're
having a
doing?
mental breakdown before 44. We're doing what 44-year-olds are doing.
We've been through we're the only ones that's gone through a worldwide pandemic
Yeah.
where we were on lockdown for
And
months.
survived it.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, I'm unfortunately, and I know this sounds so harsh, but the old people were dying. We weren't.
Yeah, all the old people were wiped out.
Wiped out. Knocked y'all out. Unfortunately. So sorry. Sorrows,
Sorry if you
prayers.
lost a grandparent
Yeah.
or family
Sorrows,
member.
prayers. So sorry. Maybe that was insensitive,
I
but
love you. I'm sorry.
sorry.
Hot topics, celebrity, anything?
That the Mufasa guy, the Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa.
No,
No? What? You didn't watch the new Lion King?
I don't.
Light skin,
No,
green
I didn't watch it.
eyes.
I don't think.
Well, never
You
mind
love
then.
him.
Yeah, he's okay. He's all right. He's cool. He's
What
cute.
about him? What were you gonna
But I
say?
was just gonna say he's dating Tiana Taylor.
Mmm,
Yeah, I didn't
love
expect
that.
that. Wouldn't have thought.
I love Doechii the most right now.
Yeah,
She's just
we have to
killing
go
it.
to her concert.
That would be the most fun concert to go
Hmm.
to right
Yeah,
now. I'm thinking. I
yeah,
just love her. She's so cool.
yeah.
Perfect body, beautiful.
Beautiful. Into her culture. Love it.
Mm, yeah,
Unapologetically her.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, last segment. Last segment. You guys know what this is, right? Please tell me you do.
Ask
Episode 3. Let's
Abby.
catch on, okay? It's
Ask
all
Abby.
going the same every time. Last segment is always going to be Ask
Ask
Abby.
Abby. So I have a question to ask you.
Well, let me think. Did I get any questions sent in to me? No. Thanks.
Such a
I'm
bitch.
so loved. I feel it from everyone. All you guys that say you're supporting me, ask me a question. It could be anything, just something silly.
Yeah.
You're not being supportive right now. Okay. Just saying. Just reminding you. Ask me a question, please.
Please, somebody. Anybody. Scream.
So, Brea's going to ask me a question or two.
Okay. What do you want to gain from doing this podcast?
What do I want to gain? Fame and fortune. No, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, that's a real answer, honestly.
I mean, it would be nice. I mean, I really started the podcast because I kind of fell in love with watching podcasts. So I like watch a podcast literally every day. That's just my background. It helps me work. I love doing it when I do my nails or just getting ready. So I became like really into podcasts. And when I'm like I watched all my weekly ones that I love because I usually watch them the day they come out or the
Mhm.
next day. So when I run out of those, I'm like scrolling through looking for a new podcast. It's kind of hard to find. The podcasts I do watch, I enjoy, but I feel like I wish I could tweak it, you know?
Mhm.
And I wish I could get this informational one with this funny, with this celebrity gossip,
Right.
with this family,
Mhm.
you're learning something a little bit. I like to be productive in my pastime. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense, but I like to be productive even in my pastime. If I have a hobby, I want to get a product out of it. I love doing my nails. Instant gratification,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And also I work from home and my husband's been going to the office a lot more. So I'm literally home alone hours, 8 hours a day for multiple days a week. And again, I just want to talk sometimes.
Yeah.
My friends are sometimes busy. And I'm like, shoot, I just want to talk to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got stuff to say. And I feel like some people might be entertained by it. Seems like it so far.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. So
Yeah. And you've been getting views and
yeah, I'm not mad.
likes
I'm
and
not mad. I'm
shares and
like, thanks for the support for anyone who is supporting. I appreciate that. But mainly just wanted to talk. And I think the Ask Abby thing got me really excited because I have always wanted to be a counselor. So
Mhm.
I was like, ooh, like I really do want to practice a little bit and see if it's something that I would enjoy.
Right.
And I think I will.
Right. I love that.
So I hope to gain just like some self fulfillment, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, because it doesn't have to be about, because I think people think hobbies have to be about like being grand and
Yeah.
or
And
making the world a better place. No, sometimes it is just about you.
well, maybe I
Like,
can make the world a better place.
yeah, but I mean,
I want to save the whales if we can.
what I'm saying, that can come out of it in the end, but
Right.
like you don't always like people.
That's not just like the why I'm doing it.
Yeah, you people think so deep. Like life is serious anyway. Like
Yeah.
everything doesn't have to be so freaking serious.
Yeah.
Like I just want to have fun.
Yeah, and honestly, finding a hobby for me has been so hard because I have ADD and I bought a yarn. I was going to learn how to crochet. I don't think I've opened the kit. It's been months. I bought all the stuff to make bracelets. I organized it. I have not made a single bracelet, you guys.
Well,
Like,
I need to come over and we can just do arts and crafts and like get it started.
but it's
Cause
so hard for me to find a hobby that I can like get into and stick with.
yeah,
So I feel like this is like something I actually like. It is work. People who think it's not work, it actually is. There's a lot that goes into it you wouldn't believe, but it's like work that I'm excited about and it's fun work. And it is a little bit challenging, but that's what keeps me going because
mhm,
I have to learn stuff every step of the way.
yeah, that makes
And I
sense.
think I just love learning.
I like that. A
Yeah.
little educated queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So I think that's it. Unless you got anything else to say, we're going to have a really cool guest next time. Do you know who it is?
I don't. I guess you got to tune in.
It's a he, first first man on the podcast,
Cool.
and he's really cool. He has a lot of life experience. He has a degree in psychology. He is a really good artist. He is 50 something.
Oh,
You'll find out. He's really cool.
that's
You're gonna love
exciting.
him.
That is exciting. You're
So for
gonna
the
be
men that may be seeing this, you're gonna be really interested. We won't be talking about all girly stuff.
right.
We're gonna get manly.
Yeah, and he's a cool person to listen to.
Very.
Yeah, he's funny. Now he's funny.
Bria, you're funny. You're just
Serious.
you're not serious. You're just like you're just so like real and like hearty.
Yeah, I think the thing is when people think that I'm funny, I'm dead serious.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's just because I think it's funny because you're so serious. Like that's why it's funny. Or I'll say some off the wall stuff, but
Yeah, when you're just in a silly light mood, y'all.
yeah, but I can't. The off the wall stuff that I say is genuinely off the wall, and I couldn't say it on a podcast.
Yeah,
So because our families are watching this, and I got to keep it
that's true.
PG,
That's true.
PG-13.
Hi guys.
So yeah, sometimes I gotta digress a little bit.
Maybe that's good that you guys are watching us. You're gonna keep us a little bit tame.
Yeah,
So, all
for
right,
sure.
we'll take it. All
All
right.
right,
Well, thank you again,
and thank you for having me.
and I love you.
Love you too.
Wish you the best in life.
Same to you.